Welcome to TinkerCAD. The first thing you'll notice is the blue area called the work plane. The work plane is kind of like the floor that we're going to be working on. What we're going to do first is build a house. Take the red box and drag it onto the work plane. Now you'll see a lot of different shapes. There's white squares and black squares and different things around. Notice if you use one finger, you can move around, go underground, and look all around. But if you use two fingers, you can slide and look left and right. So if you want to maybe look at it from a different angle, but then move it around, you use two fingers. See how the cube in the top left corner that says top, front, and right, it rotates to remind you where you are. If you pinch and zoom, you can get closer. So what we're going to do is, oftentimes in 3D modeling, looking straight down is the best idea. So let's use the white square, which moves both axes of your shape at the same time, or we can use the black squares, which go one direction at a time. And what I'd like to do is build a house that takes up a lot of, but not all of, our area. Now, the next thing, if you'll notice, this house isn't very tall. So what we're going to do is grab the center white square in the middle, and we're going to pull that up and make our house taller. Actually, I think that's a little too tall. That's just right. See the numbers that show up, 38? That means 38 millimeters, I believe. And we can actually type those in later when we get better at this and have exact measurements. Well, I think what we need to do next is open the middle space of our house. So do you see on the basic shapes there's a gray and white striped box right above the red one? Grab that and pull that onto the field, but don't put it inside the house just yet. We have to grab that middle square and make it as tall as the house first. Okay, now that we can see it, go ahead and let's put it inside the house. Leave enough room so that there are walls. As I said, looking from the top down is usually the easiest way to do it. What we also might do is just drop that down a little bit. Okay, cool. So what are we doing? Well, we're going to make a hole. So touch gray space out in the middle of nowhere, and now we've selected nothing. Touch the center shape. Now touch the red shape. See how it now says two shapes are highlighted? If you look directly above our box, it says shapes 2. Now look up above that, you'll see a grayed out light bulb. Right next to that is a square and a circle mixed together. That will join the shapes together into one. So go ahead and press that, and it will open up your box. The next thing we're going to need is a door. So let's take another clear box. How tall should our door be? That looks about right. And then we'll put this one inside our wall. It's a little too thick. Does that look right? That looks right to me. And let's tap the red box. And now we see again it says shapes 2. That means 2 shapes are selected. Right now I can select just the red box. Right now just the empty whole box. Let's touch both. And it says shapes 2. And let's join them together using that half square, half circle. Cool. Next, let's put in a window. Putting in a window is interesting. I'll show you a new skill. Let's make our window a little thinner. Most of what we're practicing in this lesson is just moving around. 2 fingers to slide and 1 finger to rotate. And it's all about looking at it from different angles is how you actually get it to work. So I'm going to move my window closer, And now you see the arrow pointing up? The black arrow on the top pointing straight up? That is how we lift things up off the ground. So we're going to just grab that. And see how it comes up into the air? So how high should we have our window? Probably not quite that high. This takes a little practice because on an iPad it's a little tricky. If you have an Apple Pencil, it's probably perfect. So I want this window to come down just a little bit to be level with the door. Nope, I don't want to rotate it. So I'm going to line it up so I know exactly where it is, and then we're going to, there we go. And now I'll push the window into the wall. It's still a little high for me. So let's, ooh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that. All right. And that should be pretty good. So let's join them together. Tap the red box, tap the window. So they're both connected. Shape 2, and press the connect button. And now we have a house and a window. Let's say I wanted to go back and make that window exactly level with the door. I can hit see the square and a circle at the top? The square and circle disconnected, we'll do that and put it back the way it was. So I can lower this down so it's even with the door, much better. Tap, so I have both shapes selected and join them together. All right. Now, what should we do next? We need to put a roof on our house, right? So let's scroll down to the green pyramid triangle shape. It's not a pyramid. And that's our roof. Let's make it a little bigger. And what we have to do is use that black arrow pointing up so that we can lift it up high enough. Later on, I'll show you how to do this with math and numbers so it's easier. But for now, let's just work our way around and try to get it to line up just right. There we go. See, it's inside the wall now. I don't want that. So let's just go a little higher. Perfect. There we go. And we can stretch it to fit. I actually want it to come a little bit forward. There we go. Awesome. Nice job. Oops. Undo. Press that back arrow. What I'm going to do now is click the house, click in the middle of nowhere, so I know I have nothing. Now click the red house, and you see where it says shape and the red circle popped up? See the little padlock that's unlocked? I'm going to lock it. And that way I don't accidentally move this shape around. I can move this one all day long, but I won't accidentally move, making sure my corners are lined up. I won't accidentally move the red house now. So yeah, no matter what I do, the red house is locked. If you hit the purple padlock, now it's unlocked, and I can move it around or whatever I want to do with it. Make sense? Good. You can't join shapes together if they're locked, just so you know. Okay, so that's our house. That's project number 1. It uses all the skills of grow and shrink and move and to rotate around the screen, and the black arrow, which is actually called the Z-axis. And that's something we can use. Okay. Now, if you've done all this and you've got your house, take a screenshot and put it in Seesaw, if there's a Seesaw activity. And beyond that, you can look around at all these other super cool shapes. We've got rings and hearts and stars and diamonds, dice, cylinders and spheres, and see what you can make. Play around with it. For example, maybe we want, just for fun, you can make your house bigger. You can experiment with the rotate tool, so you can rotate these things around. And play with them and see what they do. Maybe you want to try making a cylinder hole. So we can like rotate, not that way. Oops. Maybe I want to go like this. $90, 90, bang. Turn it, and then we'll turn it around this way, 90 degrees, and we'll put it into the house, right? Just for fun. And then we'll join that with the house. And now we'll have like a circle window inside the house. So what else can you do? Can you make a second floor? Can you make a car? Can you make an avatar of yourself? What else can you make? All right, so play around a little bit. Have some fun. Maybe we can make Aldar HQ or Burj Khalifa and have some fun.